Shalom. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai, Bahashem Wakakbadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that be among the heathen, scattered among the four corners of Salakia, scattered among the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird. And to the Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago. And excuse me, I got the hiccups. And I'm Satan. But the name of this video is going to be called Agent Reiser and the Weaponized Media. Because what you are witnessing is the accuser of thy brethren, a slanderer and a liar, who, and you can even see it in his face, in his facial expression, who gives his own arrogant, unlearned opinion as fact to try and sway the public. And that is exactly what he's going to do. That's what he's been doing. Who ignores fact and history. I mean, almost everything that he's ever said has been rebutted. Scripture, history, proof, evidence, but he just ignores it and goes on to the next topic as if you didn't just expose the lie or the falsehood or his lack of understanding on the subject matter. But let's read the scripture. This is Psalms 23:4, and it says, "Yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, thy rod and thy staff comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over." And that's where we are. We're in the valley of death, the shadow of the valley of death. And the only protection that we have is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And these offenses and these slanders and these tribulations that he is going to be a part of, helping to bring on, is a part of it. All right. Just watched the video with some very interesting information, and being that we're in the valley of the shadow of death, and it turns out that the leading cause to the so-called black male here in America, which is primarily of the tribe of Judah, is law enforcement. And now they have a special law enforcement unit that's forming just for what these people refer to as BHI, Black Hebrew Israelites, when it's just Hebrew Israelites. All right? That's all. It's the Hebrew Israelites. And he knows that. As a matter of fact, the Apostle Gabar questioned him about, about the Israelites that look like so-called white people, all the different Hispanic camps. I mean, we got a camp in Bolivia, two camps in Mexico, in Puerto Rico, and in Peru. Got a camp over in Australia, and plenty of Akim that are scattered among us that be like unto the speckled bird. But yet he acknowledged it to Apostle Gabar with a smile, but he's hell-bent and intent on giving a false narrative of black. And this whole black thing has been a key word for them. Like what can I say? It's a talk point that controls a narrative that creates negativity. Just like the word black means negative. That's one of the many meanings of the word black. But let's grab another scripture. All right. So he keeps saying black, black, black. Well, this truth did start with Judah. These darn hiccups. Would have waited till later, but this was the opportune time to do this. But this is Zechariah 12:7. And it reads, "Yahweh shall also save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. So that being the primary reason why Judah was awakened first, here in Babylon, here in the valley of the shadow of death. Because it's clear that the majority of the Hebrew relics were found among the inhabitants of the land. We of the family that were not from here in America, but were here first. The most ancient of the Hebrew relics and the most ancient writings found over here, a lot of them outdated a lot of the things that are actually found in the land of Israel to this day. All right. So you had, a lot of relics and evidence that was found among the tribes here in America, so-called Latinos and natives. So-called Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the so-called Indians of the South Americas, who primarily, outside of the tares that are among them, because there's tares among all Israel, including Judah, are the Israelites. So this is Revelation 11 and 11, and it reads, "And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from power entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and a great fear fell upon them which saw them." And that's what's going on. This is that great awakening, and they're very afraid of it. In that 350-year period, that 3 days is that 350, that 3.5 days. After 3 days and a half, it's roughly about a 350-year period between 1619 and 1969, 1970, when Abba Bivens started teaching about the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, because it had to be a focal point when the Israelites will remember themselves, as according to a prophecy. It says that in the book of Baruch, I believe it's 2 and 30. And I even think that in Deuteronomy, if it's is it 30? Yeah, Deuteronomy 30 and 1, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither Yahweh hath driven thee." All right. So now that that great awakening has happened, he is losing it, because he knows that the great awakening means that his time is short. So this guy right here is working on a documentary, just like the elder Yashawamba said, that it will more than likely mainstream media will finally get a hold of it and play it. And when you listen to him speak about us, he shows a video of IUIC, one of the weakest in the scriptures, one of the weakest camps that you could possibly interview. But nevertheless, they're still brothers. They're still Israelite brothers. They're not the strongest part of the chain, but they're still Israelites. And but when the video played, you didn't get to see them speaking or what they were saying or anything. You just have a voiceover of him dictating what he wants the people to think and believe. And he's a self-professed, expert on this black Hebrew Israelite thing. When there is no black Hebrew Israelites, it's just simply the Hebrew Israelites, the very ones that are written of in the Bible, and the evidence that has been presented proves that more than anything. And then because the one portion that I did here was when he started trying to clown about the reason that that the Israelites started shooting and killing is because they teach this doctrine that they're going to become superheroes. Then he tries to make mockery and make fun. All right. Well, superhero doesn't need a gun. And it's a lie, because you won't find a teaching in any Israelite camp that says to go out and shoot or harm or anything like that. If anything, you would hear the absolute opposite, and the opposite, and you would also hear the warnings that these days would come, and that men like him would falsify, lie, and accuse. Salaki, and that's exactly what he's doing. All right. But truth be said, the Lord is going to bless certain said Israelite men and imbue them with powers from on high, the same way he did King David, and a lot of King David's mighty men. As a matter of fact, this is 2 Samuel 3:22, and it says, "And behold, the servants of David and Joab came from pursuing the troop, and brought in a great spoil with them. But Abner was..." That's not what I wanted, Salakia. That's a good scripture, but that's not what I wanted. Actually, I want Psalms 18 and 29. All right. In Psalms 144 and 1, it clearly says he teaches my hands, my fingers to war. All right, but this is Psalms 18 and 29, and it reads, "For by thee..." Actually, I'm going to start at verse 28, but the point is in 29. Now I'm going to probably read 30 as well. It says, "For thou wilt light my candle, and Yahweh my power would enlighten my darkness." So he gave understanding and enlightening in the darkness. All right. For by thee, Salakia, "For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power I have leaped over a wall." All right. And we know that the walls in the ancient world were 25 to 50 feet high at minimum. And he ran through a whole troop. And if I'm not mistaken, I think a troop is well over 1,000 men or something like that. And did they not sing songs about King David, how he killed his 10,000s? I mean, even King Saul killed thousands. When one man kills 1,000, look at what Samson did. So these are things. So this man criticizes that we teach right out of the scripture. And did not the Lord say in the New Testament that you will be able to do the things that I did and greater? But yet he makes mockery of it. This man makes mockery of the scriptures. All right, because the Israelites have enemies unto this day. Let's go to Luke. The first chapter. And this is, I'm going to start at verse 68. And it reads, "Blessed be Yahweh power of Israel, for he have visited and redeemed his people," personal pronoun, not the whole world, like he would teach. "And he have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David." Just like it said, Judah would be raised up first, and the house of David has to return. All right. Another thing we always ask, because he said he's actually on record saying that the people in Israel are not the people of the Lord, and now he's saying that they are. See, this is a man who's double-minded and a liar. All right. And it says in 69, "And he have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of David, and he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began." See, so Abba Bibbins, yeah, we do believe that he was John the Baptist come back, and just like I said, Elijah would come back. John the Baptist he was exactly that, and he didn't know it, but it said that he had to return before the second coming. And so Abba Bibbins, yeah, we do believe that, and that was taught. We believe that because that's what the Bible said. It had to be given to men and a group of men, and it happened to be the men of One West, not the Lion apologetic church, which has been around for hundreds of years, or the Catholic Church or any other church. All right, because that can't be the truth, because it said that when the truth goes into the world, then the Lord will return. That lying message that this man and the people like him push has been going on for 600 years now. Over 500 years, almost 600 years. All right. Verse 70. Verse 71. That we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So we know that vocab Malone, Agent Mark Reiser, who was Amalek, and the Lord said he would have war with Amalek from generation to generation. All right. And let me remind you too that Joshua waged war on all those people in the land of Canaan and committed a bloody genocidal war against them, all in the name of the Most High. All right. So was Joshua a terrorist, or was he the people of the Lord? And now you fast forward to today. It says the weapons of our warfare is not carnal but spiritual. All right. We're simply destroying you with the words of our mouth. Why? Because we're not speaking our own words. We're speaking the words of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. So that the world may know that this man is a liar, a false prophet, and a charlatan. Call hello Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, B'Shem Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.